Hello, my beautiful Aquarian friends. Oh, I'm so excited to hang out and sit down and chat with you about this super potent March. I am so sorry I wasn't able to do a February reading for my beautiful Aquarians because it was your birthday month, and so many of you that I know were born in February. So I just want to wish you all such a beautiful, happy birthday. I know it's super belated, but Aquarian energy is so important to me. And hopefully today in this reading, we can set up some beautiful things for the early part of your solar year and the closeout of the Western astrological year, which happens here when we hit the equinox and the sun moves from Pisces into Aries. So this is a really potent, powerful kind of doorway, gateway part of the year where we are shifting gears, where we are letting go. And Pisces season is so much about release, ascension, letting go of the tension. And in this case, it's really like a big bath, a big oceany bath where we are releasing and letting go of any guilt, shame, obsession that might have built up over the last couple of years as we've been going through some really pretty powerful, stressful stuff. And, Aquarians, you all are going through a really big moment right now with Saturn moving through your sign and some really deep lessons being learned and incorporated. We got another year of exploration with Saturn in Aquarius. So we're right in the midst of that process. And that is really deep and profound and often comes with a lot of homework. And we can get really tired and tense sometimes, not always, when we're working with some of those deeper lessons and we're relearning what it means to be in this life. In fact, this Pisces season is really powerful. It's your neighboring sign, and there's going to be a ton of energy moving through Pisces. Mercury, the sun, new moon moving through Pisces, Jupiter, Neptune. It's a really, really potent month. But this month's also really interesting because Mars is going into your sign on the 5th. And will be in your sign the rest of the month. And Mars is so much about just going for it, just initiating things, getting out there, trying it on, doing the things. It's a really, really potent, beautiful energy that I think is going to change the tone of Aquarians a little bit then for a lot of other signs this year because it's so motivating and powerful and juicy. And then, of course, we get into Aries season, which is in huge flow with you all. The sun, Mercury, and a new moon are going to be moving through Aries at the end of the month. And this is really about expressing and sharing your voice and having really great communication. So as we move through the month of March, we're going to move through a lot of different phases. But one thing that's really clear for me, Aquarius, is that there's a clarity in the path for you all. And the message that came up for me as I felt through March and I felt through Aquarian energy, which I just love to do because I honestly look up to Aquarian energy. I really admire and love Aquarian energy. It's something that every time I hang out around it, every time I connect with it, I learn something and I transform a little bit. But one thing that I really want to emphasize in our chat today is that this is going to be a time, especially during Pisces season, which is going to be so much about your house of worthiness and value in this life, is to take some time to define for yourself what worthiness, what focus, what drive, what ambition, and what success means for you. Really defining these words very specifically based on who you are and not taking any of the cultural templates that have been kind of developed for what it means to have self-value, to have focus, to feel successful. We don't want to use any of those templates because often they're templates. They're for something kind of more vague and overarching in our consensus of things. A lot of times we're each going to have a definition of success and worthiness that it really is just its own category, right? It's not about proving to other people that you're really great at what you do. It's not about getting to the top of the hierarchy. It's not about, making a piece of art that looks perfect to the perfect art critic. It's going to be about something much more personal, subtle, different. And sometimes it can even be surprising when we take our time to kind of define words for ourselves, what comes up. And, it changes too. I think that's the thing. It's always fun to check in with our definitions. Two of Pentacles. Yeah, gotta love it. Gotta love it. We'll talk about it in a second. I'm always surprised by how, I've had different definitions of success all throughout my life. And I have to check in with it every once in a while because it does change, and quite drastically. I think in my younger years, when I was in my 20s, I really, really wanted approval from people. I mean, almost to the point, I don't even think I realized sometimes how much, right? It was kind of subconscious. 10 of Cups. Hello, Aquarius. I love it. And so I think, probably I would have tried to define my success based on me being able to go to like a cocktail party and tell people, I don't know, whatever it was. I literally can't even like get back into that mindset. So it's very hard for me to recall what I would have called success at that time. But for me now, success is about feeling at peace more often than not. Just being able to be present in the moment and be at peace. Like for me, that is like the most successful. If I'm looking back on a week and I didn't spend it just spinning my wheels, overthinking everything and like trying to be in control of everything, that is a successful week. That means I was experiencing something beautiful. The star, your card came out, my friends. Oh, I love this reading so much. Yes, I love it. I love it so much. I'm just a fan. What can I say? All right, so I'm going to pull a fourth card from my Oracle of the Hidden Worlds deck. It's so Piscean. It's so oceany, watery, magical goodness. I love it. Skyfire. We're not messing around here, my friends. Messages, channels, information. Oh my gosh, yes. Yes. I love everything about this reading. So anyway, my point being, this is a really great time for you all to redefine what makes you worthy. Like, that's a great question, because a lot of times we feel like it's going to be like the hard work ethic. It's like, we get taught all these things that make us worthy of existing, which what makes us worthy of existing, of being an energy blob in a body on this planet? I mean, it's a really interesting question to ask, right? And if we really sit with that, we'll often find a lot of really peaceful answers that are not any of those cultural ones that have to do with work and busy work and like kind of industrial revolution definitions of what it means to be allowed to be alive. And when it comes to success, also a really great way to kind of frame what it is you're going for and why you're going for it and why you feel like you need to do certain things, and taking off some of the pressure from some of the beautiful things you want to do. So let's get into these cards though, because that was a ramble. Two of Pentacles came up right away. And this card is so much about weighing out, following something that we feel deep in our gut, and wearing the hats everybody expects us to wear, and being like, oh gosh, and Aquarians, y'all are loyal, beautiful people who want to follow through and do things well, do things the right way, like be there, which is beautiful. I'm a fixed sign as well, and fixed sign energy is awesome. I love it. The consistency and the power of it is just so amazing. But right? It has that shadow side, which is that we often feel like we have to keep wearing all these hats, and we're trying to juggle everything and make it all okay. So when Two of Pentacles shows up, it's like, what are you trying to maintain, keep doing, maintain the status quo of that's just making you tired and wearing you out and actually kind of detracting from you just being you in the world. So Two of Pentacles is going to ask you what that is. Just kind of review, just take a moment, what are the essentials? What do you want to take with you moving forward? And this is a really great time of year to do that, because once again, we are closing out the Western astrological year during this Pisces season. And I think there's a simplification going on there, because that Two of Pentacles is followed up by some very rich rich cards, 10 of Cups and the Star. These are cards of joy and play, quite simply. These are cards of fruition as well. And that's another word. What is fruition? And what are you wanting to come to fruition? And what does fruition feel like for you? Because fruition, I think, comes in a lot of different forms. Like, we obviously have the big things that happen, graduations, weddings, all those big rituals, right? Where it's like, on this day, this thing is happening, and it is like, that's the fruition. But there's a lot of other packages of fruition that come in pieces, that come over time, that happen in such incremental doses that sometimes we don't realize that it's come to fruition until we take a moment to take stock and look around, and then we realize, oh my gosh, this came to fruition. So it's important too to kind of check in with what that means for you, and where you're looking for fruition, where you're longing for fruition, and getting really clear about what you truly want fruition to be. But these are cards of joy and play. These are cards of just feeling at ease and happy, and like that can also look so many different ways. It can be anything from, getting that big phone call you've been waiting for, getting that opportunity, to just having a peaceful weekend where you can just read your favorite book for hours at a time and then fall asleep and get that extra rest. And that is fruition to me. That is something that for me, I'm a success. I'm a success. Right? So the 2 of Cups and the Star, the 10 of Cups and the Star are very subjective. They're very much a personal thing for you, right? But they're there, and they want to be acknowledged, and they want you to go toward that. And I think the deal is, though, you can't be wearing all these hats. You can't be holding yourself accountable to every single thing. You got to simplify down so that you can focus your energy here. And that is just a big process of March in general. Now, let's just get down to this oracle card because it's beautiful. Skyfire, messages, channels, information. Okay, this is so perfect for Aquarius. Skyfire. I mean, I feel like that could be like another name for Aquarian energy. And then people would be equally confused about what element it is, like they already are with Aquarius. Okay, so your channels are open, right? This card is about allowing yourself to channel in those beautiful messages. And I already know you all are way tuned in. Yeah, you got some antennae. You definitely do. Oh my gosh. You're channeling some stuff. Things are coming in. So let yourself hear it, right? Relax into it. Let that guidance work with you a little bit more. Play. See what happens if you allow that guidance to work with you more, right? Because I also know there's another side of Aquarians that's very logical, very good at being very grounded, very to the point, very much focused. And that part can sometimes be like, do we want to listen to all the information coming in? I mean, I don't know what's coming into each of your minds. Yes, sometimes, maybe not, right? But this is the messages, the channeling that happens when we're calm, we're listening in, and we're feeling that guidance system click in that shows us, right? Those specific little pieces and parts that want to come on the journey. And that's what that Skyfire message is. Follow that. It's simple. It doesn't need to be complex. We don't need to put ourselves through the ringer and do everything and be everything in order for us to be on our path. Often when we're on our journey, on our trip, on our path, it's simple. Just keeps flowing. Even if there are diversions and it takes you over here and then over here, those diversions they're like a part of it, right? Like you're just moving with it. That's the Skyfire kind of messaging channeling that I think wants to come through for you all. Things just want to work. They want to work with you. So let them. That's it. So simple, Aquarius. I love it. Oh my gosh, there's just so much going on in March. I want to cover it all in these readings, and I just can't do it all justice in this space. But I do weekly chats every single week on Patreon. We activate the moons and we do worksheets and we chat every week about all the aspects and how to work with it. It's a really great space. I'd love to see you there. You can also find me on my Instagram, and don't be falling for those scammers. There's only one Sarah Vrba, so I'll leave my handle so you know where to find me. And you can also find me on my website and my email. So I'll leave all those links below, all the ways to find me below. I really hope you stick around, hang out with me. We have more fun readings ahead for this beautiful year. Have a happy beginning to the astrological new year. I love you, Aquarius. I love you. And I will talk to you very, very soon.